Moving on now, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has hit back at Supreme Court saying that they do not decide who a true Indian is. It's the job of the leader of opposition. It's his duty to ask questions, to challenge the government. My brother would never say anything against the army.
It is the job of the opposition leader. It is his duty to ask questions to challenge the government. And my brother would never say anything against the army. He holds the army in the highest respect. So it is a misinterpretation. They do not decide who a true Indian is.
Now, Supreme Court has slammed Rahul Gandhi over his remarks on army and stayed the defamation. The Supreme Court on Monday slammed leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi for allegedly making defamatory statements against Indian army, saying that a true Indian will not make such statements. The top court stayed the defamation case against him, further asked him to make statements responsibly in Parliament. Now, all of this controversy comes on the back of Rahul Gandhi saying, and I quote, "How do you get to know 2,000 square kilometers land was occupied by Chinese? If you're a true Indian, you wouldn't say such a thing." That is what the top court asked Rahul Gandhi. Saying things like that in Parliament is questionable. The complaint, in fact, alleged that his remarks about the December 2022 India-China clash defamed and demoralized the Indian army. In fact, Rahul Gandhi, remember, said that Chinese army was thrashing Indian soldiers in Arunachal Pradesh and that media would not question it. My colleague Brijesh Pandey joining us with more detail. Brijesh, Priyanka Gandhi, like a good sister, coming in defense of her brother, suggesting that Supreme Court will not decide who's a true Indian and who's not.
Well, I think, of course, it was very interesting to see the Priyanka Gandhi coming on and taking on Supreme Court. As to, the Supreme Court is not the arbitrator or the judge, jury adjudicator as far as who's a true Indian and who is not a true Indian. Because yesterday the observations, the oral observations which were made by the two judges bench in the Supreme Court, created a lot of flutter as far as the political circles is concerned. Bharatiya Janata Party immediately held a couple of press conferences and hit out at Rahul Gandhi, saying that now even the court is finding not amused with the kind of statement which were posted by social media platform X and also given by LOP Rahul Gandhi. Today in the morning in the NDA parliamentary party meet, in which Prime Minister was felicitated by the NDA parliamentarians. The Prime Minister also hit out at Rahul Gandhi and said that now even the court has said this, and how is it is what you call a classic proverb in Hindi, "Aa bail mujhe maar." But I think this particular observation which was there by the court does raise a lot of questions, and I think Priyanka Gandhi has also decided to take the bull by its horn and hit out at the Supreme Court as to whether the comment which was made by the judge was actually warranted or not. She went on to say that her brother would never insult Indian army, and the remark which was made by him was misconstrued as far as the interpretation of that line was concerned. But it's very, very clear that Congress Party and also India Alliance is also not going to sit back and listen to the observations which were made by the two judges bench as far as Apex Court is concerned. Now, if you analyze what the court had said, that this was something which could have been avoided as well. Nobody knows how much territory is in the Chinese hand. The government has not issued any official clarifications, and we don't know what is the extent of what is there. Rahul Gandhi is a leader of opposition, so his access to information would be bigger than most of us. And the fact of the matter is that it is very I would say ironic that that any institution, be it judiciary or executive or even the parliament, gets to decide who is a true Indian and who is not a true Indian.
Absolutely. It does look like right now what Priyanka Gandhi is pointing to is that Supreme Court is acting as an arbiter of who's a true Indian and who's not, and that's a very difficult position to take. Let me quickly bring our viewers to what Rahul Gandhi essentially said, which became a big political storm, Brijesh, and that is that China has captured about 2,000 square kilometers of Indian land, killed about 20 Indian soldiers, and it's thrashing our soldiers in Arunachal Pradesh. And I'm assuming, because he's a leader of opposition, he made those claims on the basis of certain evidence that he had. But there has been no clarification on that forthcoming from the government so far.
Well, yes, and this was something which was this was. They had approached the Supreme Court to get a stay on the observations which was there of the High Court, and that is the reason why they had gone to the Supreme Court. And the observations of the Supreme Court, the oral observations of the Supreme Court were one which gained more traction, I would say, on social media and on the political platforms of the Bharatiya Janata Party and other NDA allies, and not the real issue where Rahul Gandhi actually got a stay and got a relief from the Supreme Court. But these two observations, that if you are a true Indian, you wouldn't have said that. And how do you know that China has taken 2,000 kilometers off or sitting on 2,000 kilometers square land of India? I think got much more traction. And it's very interesting to see that Priyanka Gandhi decided to take on Supreme Court, and the way she has spoken, and also we have heard that the Indie bloc is also united behind Rahul Gandhi, that that he is making a statement as a leader of opposition, and he has every right to make that statement without being judged whether he is a true Indian or a false Indian. It's very clear that that the India alliance is also is not going to back out as far as these kind of observations against Rahul Gandhi are being made.
Absolutely. Litmus test of an Indian, very, very difficult to decide, Brijesh. Thank you very much for taking time out for joining us on the show. Let's quickly listen in once again to what Priyanka Gandhi said.
They do not decide who a true Indian is. And it is the job of the opposition leader, it is his duty to ask questions to challenge the government. And my brother would never say anything against the army. He holds the army in the highest respect. So it is a misinterpretation.